Buenos dias. This is Kaipacha again with the weekly Pele Report for April 7th of 2015. And I'm up here in Northern California. Gotta wear a jacket these days. It's a little cold out here, but gonna knock it out anyway. So I was told that there's a little waterfall or a little stream down on this trail, so I'm going to check it out. As life is but a metaphor, a trail is a metaphor for life. Here we have a bridge. Crossing the bridge from the past to the future. Here we go. That's what Aries is about. The sun is still in Aries. And of course we've made it through a couple of eclipses these past few weeks, and the fun is not over yet. Oh my God. Today, actually, as I'm doing this report, Mercury is square Pluto. Yesterday, Mars was in conjunct Saturn. Oh my God. Jupiter is like screeching to a halt and going stationary direct tomorrow on Wednesday. And just as the sun is conjoining with Mercury, and of course Mercury is right on the edge. Mercury's going to be going into Taurus next Tuesday. But first it's, you know, like I say, we got this thing going on. Tomorrow it's conjunct Uranus. Uh-oh. A fork in the road. Huh. I'm going to have to take the road less traveled by, even though there's somebody down there. Uh-oh. A person in the Pele Report. Yikes. You never know what you're going to run into these days. Anyway, to carry on with astrology, Venus is going to be opposite Saturn next Tuesday. She goes into Gemini on Saturday, so we have a couple of things going on here. Yeah, Venus changing signs, Mercury changing signs, the moon coming into a square, third quarter square with the sun at 22 degrees of Capricorn on Saturday. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little bit, but mostly I want to talk about this Jupiter, because Jupiter went up to 22 degrees of Leo December 8th and turned retrograde, returning now back to 13 degrees. And it's going to return back to where it was in December, July, yeah, in July. So there's a connection here between December now and July that I want to go into a little bit. And I think I'll just find kind of a nice little spot to sit down and talk at you down here in this little, this is a very nice little place now, isn't it? Okay. Alright, I hope I can get through this before it starts raining on me. Ow! Oh, let's see. There's a few things to think about now. We've been talking about this Uranus square Pluto for the last couple of years. And I've also talked about how the seed was sown in the 1960s. When Uranus was conjunct Pluto in Virgo. And now we're coming into the square of Uranus square Pluto. And that's been going on since the summer of 2012. And the final was, according to the computers, the exact square was last month. However, I need to point out that Uranus goes retrograde, and it goes back to 17 degrees, and Pluto comes up to 15 degrees in December. And we can just say it's not over yet. The computer says that the exact square is over, but if you look at the night sky or you look in reality, okay, these planets are still in square. And just like the reverberations of what happened in 1965 and 66 carried on through the 70s. The square of this Uranus-Pluto is almost like a stone thrown in the water. The ripple effect takes time to go out. We're going to be feeling the effects of this Uranus square Pluto for years to come. And it has to do with the redefinition of what it means to be an individual human being in relationship to the larger external authorities, institutions, governments, families. So we're just, you know, and this is, it's a huge, long, time-consuming process. Within that, you know, within that square then, of course, we have these moon's nodes moving through Aries and Libra, but let's just look at this Jupiter. Because Jupiter in Leo has gone up to 22 degrees last December, and it brings in, we have to look at this retrograde phenomena. And the retrograde phenomena has to do with that, it's a threefold process. And the first process is Jupiter, new belief, new optimism, new purpose, new vision, new place to go with my life. Like, you know, what's the point? Okay, well, now I have a point. Now I have a purpose. Now I have a new belief. I want to, you know, teach something. I want to learn this and bring it to the world. I want to reconnect with nature, start a community, start my farm, start my, you know, just like, you know, plans. You know, Jupiter and Sag wants to like make these big plans for the future of expansion. I want to expand my reality. Well, that's great. Then it goes retrograde. January, February, March, and now into April. And it's like, well, if I want to do all this, I need to modify, change, shift, move, open up space, open up time. And now it's at this stationary point. So there's been this reflecting, redoing, you know, removing, reintegrating process, and it's going to start going direct again. Whoosh! There's going to be some forward momentum, some forward progress until by July, and particularly August when it squares Saturn. Some of these plans and visions are going to be manifested, formed, shaped. My website's done, my house is done, my, you know, business is started. I'm, you know, my relationship, the new me, you know, my new beliefs are now coming out and coming clear. So this is a big turning point, this Jupiter stationing and going direct. And it's also like a really reflective time, particularly these days. Mercury square Pluto today, conjunct Uranus tomorrow. This is intense, intense. Mercury is commerce and business. It's communication, it's emails, it's, you know, plans, and, you know, like we got to work together to accomplish these plans. And Aries is not exactly patient. Yeah, so you can have these sudden bursts, these, you know, sudden, and you can be receiving shocks or surprises and, you know, new information, and it's just like, you know, kind of upsetting. So we've had these eclipses where it's like, you know, we've also gotten, you know, this last lunar eclipse. You know, I need to let go of this, of my past and my family and my patterning and my conditioning, and I want to be this new person. And now it's, but being that, yeah, and this has to do with the mantra today, you know, knowing and seeing are different than being, implementing, actually becoming and acting that new person, walking the talk. And this is Mars in Taurus. And Mars in Taurus is going to be there for a little while, even in the rain. Now it's raining on my Pele Report. Oh my God. Major adjustments. So this Mars in Taurus, though, it's time to get the money. It's you know, it's time to walk the talk. It's time to start the, you know, get it grounded, make it real. So, you know, these are, you know, this is a pretty pressing week, you know, of this energy. There's a lot of, you know, Mars is fire, and it's in this earth sign of Taurus. We've got the Sun-Mercury conjunction that just wants to, like, speak it out and do it and go it and, you know, say it and change it. And then Mars comes along. If you want to change it, you need to get this together, get that together, and complete this, and finish this, and follow through on that, and get the money from there, and, you know, get this person on board, and, you know, it's just like, and Taurus is fixed and slow. It's not always a cakewalk moving through this third dimensional time and space. Yeah? So I think the key word for this week I was going to say is vigilance. It's like time to remain vigilant. We're going to be coming up to that Mars at 15 degrees Taurus in the next couple weeks. And that's that 45-degree aspect, the semi-square. And that has to do with, it's like Aries starts. We begin all this stuff. At the, you know, the spring equinox, the sun comes in, Mars, we have all this starting. But then when it comes to hitting the obstacles, hitting the blocks, hitting the walls, having to, you know, it's endurance and perseverance that's really going to be called for over these next 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, especially, you know, with Mars and Taurus is going to be there, and then the Sun and Mercury going into Taurus. So it is endurance and perseverance. It's hanging in there, and what you face is the 45-degree aspect has to do with doubt. Yes, I had a great idea, but now it's turning out to be a pain in the ass to actually do it. And I wonder, maybe it was the wrong choice. Maybe it was the wrong decision. Maybe, you know, this is never going to happen. And you begin to doubt yourself and doubt the impulse and doubt the urge. I want to encourage you. It's, you know, that this is just time and space. This is just the third dimension. And you want to, you know, doubt is the killer. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill the future with doubt. Just plod along, slow and sure, with patience. Try not to lose it too much in too many directions and alienate too many people. And it will happen. I got to close this report because I'm going to get soaked by the time I get back to some shelter. So the mantra for today is, it's one thing to know, another to see. But to change the world, I must first change me. Yeah? We got to be the examples and the models for future generations. It's going to take some time and vigilance. Even if you're getting soaking wet. All right. So, one last time before closing here. It's one thing to know, another to see. But to change the world, I must first change me. Good luck, namaste, stay dry, aloha, ciao ciao.